video, we're going over the new top 5 meta loadouts here in Black Ops 6 Season 1. I will be providing both 5 as well as 8 attachment class setups. Let's get into it. For class setup number 1, we're taking a look at the KRIG, one of the best assault rifles both in Black Ops 6 as well as Warzone. This class setup works for both modes. For the optic, we're going to be utilizing the Kepler Microflex. Great optic picture, easy to use at longer ranges. Now for the muzzle on the KRIG, you can either rock the suppressor or the compensator depending on how much recoil control you want, or if you want to remove yourself from the radar. I will be providing both class setups in the firing range. I like to rock the suppressor on this assault rifle. Now for the barrel, we are going to utilize the reinforced barrel to improve both damage range as well as bullet velocity, giving us a fast TTK at those longer ranges. For the underbarrel, I highly recommend putting on the vertical foregrip to bump up that horizontal recoil control to have as little recoil as possible, so this weapon is easy to use at those longer ranges. Now for the magazine on the KRIG, all we need is extended mag 1, bumping up the ammo capacity from 30 to a comfortable 45. For the rear grip, because this is an assault rifle, we are going to be rocking the commando grip. This is going to be fantastic on the KRIG, improving both aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed, so you can dominate at those closer as well as medium ranges. For the stock, I highly recommend putting on the balanced stock on the KRIG. This is going to be fantastic, improving everything we need at those close and medium ranges. We have improved strafing movement speed, hip fire movement speed, and aim walking movement speed. Amazing. You're going to find out why in the firing range. We're going to be skipping over the lasers. These are not a good choice because they're going to be giving away your position. You don't want that to happen. And then finally, for the fire mod, we are going to be rocking recoil springs to make sure this weapon is easier to use at longer ranges with improved horizontal recoil control as well as vertical recoil control. Definitely a great attachment. Once you go ahead and build this 8 attachment class setup, you're going to see why it's so effective in the firing range. Remember, you can rock this both in multiplayer and Warzone. We are going to have a KRIG class that has a fast sprint out, great ADS speed, aim walking speed, and this is going to have controllable recoil with the suppressor. Now I will go ahead and showcase this class setup if you don't really care about being off the radar. What you're going to do is remove the suppressor and put on the compensator. You're going to find in the firing range we are going to have pretty much the same handling, but the recoil control is going to be a lot easier. So if you want to have a point and shoot KRIG and you don't care about being on the map, this is something you definitely want to check out. Now, what you want to do if you don't want to run the 8 attachment class setup, which I get not that many people like to rock 8 attachment setups, you are going to remove the extended mag 1, you're going to remove the balance stock, and unfortunately, you're going to have to remove recoil springs. Now, because we are not running 8 attachments, I highly recommend keeping on the compensator, because once you go into the firing range, you're going to see here that we are still going to have an effective setup that is going to have controllable recoil. It's not going to be as controllable as the 8 attachment class, but it is going to be usable, especially if you would rather go ahead and run additional perks in multiplayer. So check out which class setup you find is going to be most suited for your playstyle. For class setup number 2, we're taking a look at the PP919, one of my personal favorite submachine guns, because you do not have to rock an 8 attachment class, which is going to be killer with this submachine gun. If you don't need an optic, the iron sights are some of the cleanest in the entire game. Now for the muzzle, we are going to rock the suppressor. The recoil is controllable. For the barrel, we're going to be utilizing the long barrel for maximum damage range. If you do not run this, you're going to feel this weapon is kind of a hit marker machine at those medium longer ranges. We don't want that to happen. Now for the magazine, we're going to be leaving this alone. We're going to be fully utilizing the 60+ round mag this gun comes with by default. For the rear grip, because this is a submachine gun, we are going to be utilizing the CQB grip. This is a massive W, improving sprint to fire speed, slide to fire speed, and dive to fire speed, making this weapon nasty up close. For the stock, we are going to be running the no stock option. This is going to be a great choice on the PP919 because the mobility and handling, because it is a high capacity submachine gun, is low. We need to bump this up with improved hip fire movement speed, and strafing movement speed. Overall, a fantastic attachment. And then finally, we're going to jump right over to the fire mod, and we are going to be rocking rapid fire. This is going to be good on the PP919, bumping up that fire rate, giving us a faster time to kill at those closer ranges. I will be showing a class with recoil springs just in case you want to bump up that recoil control. Now, once you go ahead and build this nasty 5 attachment class setup, you're going to see this weapon is going to have a great sprint out speed, ADS, and it is going to be controllable even with rapid fire. It's going to have a little bit of vertical recoil, but it is going to be controllable. And even if you miss a couple of shots, you have 64 rounds at your disposal, so it really isn't that big of a deal. Let's say you just don't want to deal with recoil, which is perfectly fine, and you want to rock the recoil springs. You're going to see here that this weapon is going to shoot a little bit slower, but it's not going to move whatsoever. It's going to be a laser beam, and overall one of the better SMGs to use in multiplayer as well as Warzone because of its ammo capacity. So make sure you guys go ahead and check out this class setup right now. For class setup number 3, we're taking a look at the trusty XM4. It wouldn't be a top 5 class setup without including the XM4. Now for the optic, we're going to be rocking that Kepler Microflex. Now, for the muzzle, we are going to utilize the suppressor here, giving us a very stealthy assault rifle you can use at any and all ranges. For the barrel, I do recommend putting on the reinforced barrel on this weapon, bumping up damage range and bullet velocity. If you want to, and this is going to be if you want to have the fastest TTK at longer ranges, feel free to rock the long barrel, but for this setup, it truly is not necessary. For the underbarrel, we are going to utilize the vertical foregrip, a great attachment to improve more horizontal recoil control, keeping this weapon in check. Now, for the magazine, we are going to be rocking extended mag 1, giving us a healthy 45 rounds to use. For the rear grip, for the assault rifles, the commando grip is going to be the best option for that aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed. For the stock, we're going to be utilizing the new stock available for the XM4, and that's going to be the buffer weight stock, drastically improving that vertical as well as horizontal recoil control. This weapon is a straight laser beam when you have this attachment equipped. Do not sleep on it. It makes this gun unstoppable. And then finally, for the fire mod, we are going to go ahead and make sure this weapon is as overpowered can be. And we're going to be rocking the recoil springs to improve more horizontal as well as vertical recoil control. I will be providing a 5 attachment build. It's not going to be nearly as good as the 8 attachment build because you can seriously remove all the recoil with this assault rifle. As you guys can see, we have a fast sprint out speed, ADS speed. Relative to what this weapon can do, I mean, it doesn't move, guys. It is a point and shoot laser beam because we are rocking that buffer weight stock. This is broken on this assault rifle, and I highly recommend you guys going ahead and giving this a try. Now, let's say you do not want to run 8 attachments, which honestly, I do recommend on the XM4. You are going to remove the recoil springs. You're also going to remove extended mag 1. Now, normally we take the stock off, but the stock is just so advantageous on this AR. What we are going to be doing is removing the vertical foregrip. We still want to rock the reinforced barrel. We still want to rock the suppressor. So we are going to have a class setup that is going to be effective. We're still going to have a pretty good ADS as well as a sprint out speed, and the recoil control is still going to be there. It isn't going to be as controllable as the 8 attachment build, and we also are not going to have the 45 round magazine, which is nice. But you guys can see here, we are going to have a build that you can use at those longer ranges. So again, you want to pick whichever class setup is going to suit your needs. For class setup number 4, we are going to be taking a look at the 2-shot kill TANTO 22, one of the nastiest SMGs here in Black Ops 6 as well as Warzone. Now for the optic, this is a more precision submachine gun. I like to call it a pocket assault rifle. The Kepler Microflex is going to be necessary. Now for the muzzle, the compensator is mandatory here. We need to improve that vertical recoil control. There is no ifs, ands, ors, or buts about it. For the barrel, we're going to be rocking the CHF barrel, giving us enough headshot multiplier to get a 2-shot kill to the head at closer ranges. Now for the underbarrel, we are going to rock the vertical foregrip for maximum horizontal recoil control. For the magazine, we're going to be rocking the flip mags. We have a faster reload. This weapon does not have the fastest fire rate, so this is going to be a great attachment to have. For the rear grip, because this is a submachine gun, we're going to rock that CQB grip again, so we can have improved sprint to fire speed, slide to fire speed, and dive to fire speed. Very important when getting your first shot on target to get that kill. Now for the stock, we're going to be utilizing the balance stock. This is great on the TANTO 22, improving more aim walking movement speed, hip fire movement speed, as well as strafing movement speed. We're going to be dominating at those close to medium ranges and obviously longer ranges because this is going to be a pocket assault rifle. Now we're gonna be jumping to the fire mod, and instead of running rapid fire this time, we are gonna be going ahead and rocking recoil springs just so we have more horizontal and vertical recoil control. This is gonna be a pocket assault rifle, so this is gonna be a more advantageous attachment to have, especially with this type of build. Now for this 8 attachment class, you're gonna see in the firing range, we are gonna be utilizing a fast ADS. Sprint out speed and walking speed is going to be beautiful, and we are still going to have a controllable recoil. It isn't going to have the fastest fire rate, but realistically this is going to be packing a massive punch. So definitely go ahead and check this submachine gun out, especially if you're looking for a high damage weapon to use. Now for the 5 attachment class setup, unfortunately we are going to be removing that barrel because the recoil control is just going to be unbearable. So we're going to remove the recoil springs. We're also going to take away the balance stock, and we're going to take away the flip mag. Now for the barrel, instead of rocking the CHF barrel, we are going to be rocking the reinforced barrel just to bump up more bullet velocity and damage range, overall helping this weapon out at those longer ranges. You guys can see here we are going to be having a 5 attachment build that is still going to be nasty. This is going to be what you want to run if you care about using the optic. Now we'll go ahead and showcase another class setup that you can run if you wanted to use a 5 attachment setup. You're going to remove the microflex, and because we're not running a barrel that's going to be improving, I should say removing a lot of recoil control, it's going to be improving that recoil, but it's going to be, you know, removing a lot of that recoil control. We are going to be running the recoil springs here. This is going to be a good setup with the iron sight, so you can definitely go ahead and see this. Incredibly easy to use. I mean, this thing it doesn't move at all. And let's say you just don't care about the recoil control, maybe you're a veteran with the TANTO 22, feel free to put on rapid fire here. You're going to see here that we are going to have a setup that's going to have a faster fire rate. It's not going to be as controllable as the other builds, but it is still going to be usable. So definitely go ahead and rock whatever TANTO setup is going to be suiting your needs. My personal favorite is going to be the 2-shot kill setup with the optic, because the iron sights, I personally am not a huge fan of them. They're a little bit difficult to use at longer ranges, but a lot of you guys might enjoy this TANTO setup, so definitely check out which one is your favorite. And finally, for class setup number 5, we're taking a look at the famous AMES 85. Overall, a fantastic assault rifle. For the optic, we're rocking the Kepler Microflex. For the muzzle, the suppressor is going to be the way to go. This weapon has no recoil. For the barrel, we are utilizing the reinforced barrel. This is going to be great on this specific assault rifle build. For the underbarrel, we're going to be utilizing the vertical foregrip, removing a lot of that horizontal recoil. For the magazine, we're going to be rocking extended mag 1, giving us a healthy 45 rounds. Now, for the rear grip, for the assault rifles, the commando grip is going to be the way to go. Now, for the stock on this AR, I really recommend running the balance stock. This is going to be a good choice, improving that strafing movement speed, hip fire movement speed, and aim walking movement speed, a massive W. I started to recommend a lot of balance stock classes because they just work, and I really enjoy them over the combat stock, especially on the AMES 85. And then finally, for the fire mount, we're going to be removing a lot of that recoil, so more with the recoil springs, improving horizontal and vertical recoil. Overall, a great class setup. The 8 attachment build is going to be the way to go here, because you guys can see in the firing range, we're going to have a build that is literally not going to move. It's going, I mean, I love these 0 recoil class setups because they are so nasty at any and all ranges. And honestly, the 8 attachment setups just make these assault rifles as overpowered as possible. Now, again, you guys like to rock 5 attachment builds, remove the recoil springs, remove the stock, and remove the extended mag, you're still going to have a class that is going to be usable. It isn't going to be as overpowered as the 8 attachment setups, but these definitely are going to be packing a punch if you want to run additional perks. These are going to be the top 5 meta loadouts to use here in Black Ops 6 as of right now. For the remainder of all of my setups, no matter if I'm rocking a 5 or an 8 attachment build, I rock the Siren 9mm. This is going to be a great backup. It's a secondary, but in all reality, it is going to be a full-blown submachine gun. Definitely go ahead and give this a try. I also rock the knife, and I'm running stem shot, blast trap, which are broken free kills here in Black Ops 6, the assault pack. And for the 8 attachment builds, I'm running scavenger, assassin, bankroll, and enforcer, because I'm running 3 perks under the same family. And you absolutely must run gunfighter to allow yourself to rock 8 attachments instead of 5. Now, let's say you want to go ahead and rock just a 5 attachment build. Make sure you guys put on perk greed, and you want to do is swap out dexterity, which it goes to by default, and put on go. So even if you're not firing, you're still gonna be off the radar, which is gonna be great. You can flank the enemy team a lot easier. Overall, dominate lobbies. If these class setups do help you guys out, let me know down in the comment section. And as always, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.